What's up, Hoopers? It's Coach Alex from THINCPRO Basketball, and today we're going to break down the stutter step crossover. Let's get started. All right, guys, well, like I said, we're going to break down the stutter step crossover move in today's video, breaking it down step by step, and then at the end, you'll see it all into one. All right, now the first thing I want to talk about is the footwork that goes into the stutter step crossover. Key word, stutter step, meaning you're going to chop your feet to freeze your defender in order to get them to bite, which will allow you to use the crossover afterwards to break by your defender. So, right here with the stutter step, if I'm attacking my defender, that means I'm coming at them full speed or at a good pace to get them to believe I'm trying to get by them. So with the stutter step, let me wipe my shoes and I'm ready to go. I'm coming at my defender, so if there's somebody in front, my stutter step means I'm gonna start to chop my feet, okay? So I'm coming at you rather than just coming at you, boom, and crossing over here. When I use my stutter step, it's going to allow me to freeze my defender, almost like a hesitation move. So again, I'm coming at you here, boom, and then I would cross over. But the main ingredient to this move is that stutter step. So you have to figure out what type of pace you want to play at in order to use this. Some players are good at using their stutter step when they're going full speed. Other players need to go a little slower in order to make it work effectively. If you're in between, you just got to be able to figure it out. Once you do, you'll be able to use this move effectively. Okay, so when you get down here, again, you don't have to chop your feet 100 times, right? Just give them a couple of them, boom, boom, and then you break by your defender. But make sure you have your stutter step down before you move on and try to add the crossover to the full move. All right, guys, next I want to talk about how to freeze the defender. So I talked about that the stutter step does that, but I want to make sure that you add all the components into it to make sure you're doing it correctly. So I'm coming at you, you're my defender. I use my stutter step, so I'm coming at you, boom, boom, right? So I give you those chop steps. Those are good to keep the defender off balance, right? The defender's guessing. So as you're coming at me and you're doing that, I've got to start to break down and try to figure out what are you going to do, because you have options. You can pass, you can continue your dribble, or you can go right into a jump shot. But what are you going to sell me on in order to freeze me, to make me come out of my stance as a defender, to then allow you to create the advantage, right? I can't come at you and be looking at my feet when I do my stutter, right? Because then I'm not paying attention to what you're doing defensively. I've got to sell you. I've got to get my eyes to the basket. So when I'm coming at you with my stutter step, I'm looking at you and then I bring my eyes up, right? I'm looking at the basket. I'm engaged in my target, so I know that when you're looking at me and you see my eyes go up, your first instinct is to come up to get ready to contest a shot, meaning you're from this position to here. And as an offensive player, I can come at you, freeze you, and continue on. And that's what we want to do with the freeze. We have to sell that we're going to shoot the basketball, because we are going to add a crossover, and we'll get to that next. But I want to make sure that when you use your stutter step, sell the defender, bring your eyes up. Maybe you even lift a little bit out of your stance. So you're here, boom, you lift. Now when you cross over, boom, you can get by your defender. But that freeze and you lifting and you bringing your eyes to the target, meaning the basket, this is going to allow you to freeze the defender to use the crossover next to get by and to score. All right, so next we got one more thing to talk about, and then we'll put it all together and you'll see it in full speed. So let's move on and let's talk about the crossover. All right, guys, next let's talk about and add in our crossover, since we are working on a stutter step crossover move. Okay, so here's what I want to talk about. When we use our stutter step and we freeze our defender by bringing our eyes to the hoop and lifting a little bit, on the crossover, so we get here, we freeze the defender. Now, instead of crossing the ball over from side to side and then advancing, let's do this. Let's get here, let's attack, freeze our defender, and push cross, okay? So push cross, instead of going here on that stutter and cross, let's go from here, freeze them, and push it in front of us, forward, so we can get by our defender quickly, right? So we stutter step, boom, boom, we push cross, we get to the basket, and we score. All right? So push that ball in front rather than side to side, because when you use a push crossover, it allows you to continue your forward momentum. It allows you to create that advantage a lot quicker than just using a side-to-side cross. A side-to-side crossover is more of an isolation move, right? When you're crossing somebody up here and dancing on them. But when you're trying to go forward and advance, a push crossover is a better option to use when using a crossover. Okay, so again, stutter step, eyes up, bring your body, push cross on the crossover, get by, and score. All right, so now what I want to do is show you the entire move. You're gonna see angles of the footwork, so make sure you see that and pay attention to it. You'll get a close-up action of the freeze and the eyes and being able to see everything that goes on after the stutter step in order to freeze your defender to get by. You'll also see the push cross, and then of course you'll see it all in motion and together to complete the stutter step crossover. So right now, have a look at the move in full speed. All right, Hoopers, well, there's your move breakdown. The stutter step crossover. Don't forget about your feet. Don't forget to freeze the defender. And of course, push that ball across on your crossover. And you got to make it work by finishing at the basket. Now, until I see you again next time, do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, let us know what you think. Make sure you subscribe to THINCPRO Basketball, where we are giving you the best content that we could possibly give you, providing you with professional level training, easy to follow, and that's going to deliver in-game results. Now get out there, hit the gym, hit the court, put the work in, and like Coach Alex always said, remember to always keep hooping.